So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie and Genty Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in. Hey, welcome world. It's Jamie is Beyond the Game podcast. It's Jamie here on Fishbowl Radio. Welcome. It's Tuesday, September the 5th, 2023. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend, wherever you did. Thank you for having us here. Having me here today. So with that being said, everyone, I want to get to my weekend before I play a clip from Deion's pregame speech. Okay. So this weekend was very flat. I did not do much. I lost ESPN. As of Thursday night. So when I came home I came home Friday morning. I lost ESPN. On ESPN2, ESPNU. So what the hell am I going to do without ESPN? This shit runs this podcast. Like, I watch a lot of clips from ESPN. So thank you, Spectrum, for taking ESPN from me. And now I have to go make a decision. Do I go with Verizon or do I just go with streaming services? Because obviously, as of right now, y'all have not reached a deal. You don't care about your customers, period. You care about the dollars. Okay? That crappy ESPN, y'all need to come back. Because I miss everything. Like if people tell me, oh, well, what'd you think of Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp? I just watched like 3 clips of it. A first take, right? They don't put the full clips on YouTube. They split them down in the middle from 10 to 15 minutes. It's ridiculous. So y'all have to get this shit right before I'm turning the cable in. I'll go to the store and say, you know what? Here's my cable. I'm done with it. That's it. That would actually save me a lot of money in the long run. It would. I'm done with that crap. I'll keep the internet. But the cable has got to go. Give me about another week, and then I'll say, you know what? Screw this cable. I'm done with it. Well, anyways, guys, but I did go to a WNBA game this weekend on Sunday, and it was horrible on the Wings' part. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. You know that Indiana's coming in with a mission on your mind to upset y'all. And look what they did. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Okay? Now I did my full report on the on the Wings, I've been doing this for the last few weeks, team by team by team, giving my expertise on what I'm seeing on the court. Because as an athlete, as a basketball player, you see things a different way than the fans' perspective. So that's what I've been doing the last few weeks. And I said the number one thing that the Wings had to focus on is finishing. They did not finish on Sunday, which is why they lost by 13 points in overtime. Okay? And I said, this team's going to struggle in the postseason. This team's literally going to struggle in the postseason. We have the players. We have the coach. But it's not together right now. It will never be together. So we got time. We got time to fix it. It's okay. We're in the postseason, and we'll go from there. Now, Colorado versus TCU. This is the game I watched. And I wish that, seriously, I really watched it. I recorded it. I watched it back again. I want to play a clip from Coach Prime. This is very motivating for me. So let's play that clip, please. Pre-game, please.
Give me a word long before this, but he's been holding it. Because it's not about them. This is about us. This has nothing to do with the team that's opposing us. This is about us. This ain't got nothing to do with the naysayers, the unbelievers, the haters, the doubters. This is about us. When we started this journey, we told you it was gonna be trying, it was gonna be tough, but you endured because it's about us. That man next to you is a miracle. That man next to you is a believer. That man next to you is a go-getter. That man next to you is a dog. That man next to you is somebody who wants this thing. That man next to you is somebody who believes. That man next to you is somebody that got to have it today. We ain't got tomorrow. We got now. We ain't got next. We got now. We ain't coming no more. Since y'all know we here, give me my theme music.
Anyways, is that it? Okay, sorry. It's all good. It's all good. So you hear that? Very motivating to say the least. And who would not want to play for Coach Prime? I would. Being 35 years old, I'll get out there and make some noise on the field. I'll go out there. But then again, you got haters like Lee Corso, who does not buy in to the Colorado's atmosphere. He does not buy into Deion's coaching, period. And he was the only motherfucker on that college football stands. I didn't watch it. I did not watch it because, again, I don't have ESPN. And then, but I got word of the clip from somebody else. Or I saw a headline that said, Lee Corso doing stupid things. I literally saw that headline. I was like, what do you do this time? He's very crucial of saying these things. But going after an African-American coach was basically an African-American team. Like, dude, it's time for you to go. Like, go for real. ESPN needs to get rid of y'all. Period. And I know 4 out of those 5 people that were sitting there on college football game day that morning, like I said, I watched the clip, chose TCU. One person, what was his name? Reese Davis chose Colorado. One person out of 5 chose Colorado. They said TCU's the better team. They said that. How is TCU better than this? Let's play that clip from Lee Corso, please.
Debut as head coach at Colorado now. About 5-6 minutes away. It's proving time. Colorado, TCU. Another game I think will be much closer than the experts think. I think that Colorado will hang around for a while, but TCU, I think they'll win it.
Yeah, this is a clip from.
Sue me. Don't actually. Shout out Brett Favre. I'm buying in to Deion Sanders. I'm bought into the 80-plus people that he's brought in. I brought into the mindset. And they could potentially lose by 50, and I can never do this again. So give me Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes. Shocking the world today is 20-some point dogs. I think they'll cover, but I'm going TCU. TCU destroys Colorado. That's all I got to say. Love that. You really meant that. That's a personal one, man.
I'll tell you what, give me Chandler Morris. There's so much talk about TCU maybe just going off the radar now after losing Max Duggan. Remember, Morris is the guy.
Okay, so let's play another clip from Lee Corso.
To get a shot at Colorado. LC, you've been in the situation taking over a program. What's your reaction to how Deion's gone about his business?
Well, Deion Sanders can do anything he wants to build this program. I just don't agree with his tactics. Now, they used the basic principle when I took over and had to do my job. I treated the players like they were my stepchildren. I treated them bad and good. I worked it out, tried to make it out, so I not lose one player. This is live. Now, I took over Louisville. They went to the first bowl game ever. They won the first bowl game ever. And Northern Illinois, I went to the pros, the United States Football League. That's my story, and I'm sick of it. I don't agree with his tactics. It's his.
So anyways, I didn't say that. Some other guys did. But it's time for Lee Corso to go. The man's 88 years old. The man, I'm pretty sure he's had numerous health problems. It's time for him to go. You can't say that crap. You can't. ESPN can't now allow old men to say that crap on TV, on live TV. Literally said that out of his dirty ass mouth on TV. Say those things. It's time for you to go, bro. I'm sorry, but let me give you some numbers. Shadur Sanders, 38 for 47 for 510. 500 yards in Fort Worth and 4 touchdowns. No turnovers. Colorado had no turnovers. 0. This is a man that played at HBCU the last 2 years. And now Power 5 and torched TCU's ass. TCU had no resistance that game. Their offensive line was so perfect. Colorado's offensive line. That Shedeur, I think he got sacked twice. Well, maybe no, he did get sacked 5 times. Or I'm off. But anyways, that was a masterful performance. And y'all forward talking about we got the best quarterback in the league. In Big 12, really? You just got torched by an HBCU quarterback. You got torched by a guy who got disrespected by the offensive coordinator for TCU. A guy that Dion was supposed to coach at TCU. Remember back a year ago when they were going after Coach Prime? They said they wanted Coach Prime to coach TCU. Florida State called. And then I think, I can't remember, the third team. But anyways, remember that talk? Dion started in this area. He started in this area. And then he says, nah, I'm good. Let me stay at Jackson State. Then he goes to Colorado. And then his son, 500-plus yards of offense. Then you got Chandler Morris, who was injured last year, the first game, go for 24 for 42 for 279, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Those interceptions were key. They were about to score in those plays. So in the red zone, when they turn the ball over, that's easy 14 points for TCU. Colorado wasn't playing any defense that day anyways. But then again, turnovers matter. Chandler Morris was not great this game. He was horrible. If I'm TCU, I should be ashamed of myself. Like, we go from Max Duggan to now Chandler Morris, and now we're in for an awkward season. Our first loss. After being the national championship running up last year, you lose to a team that went 1 for 11 last year. Let me give you some other numbers as well. Number 2, defensive coordinator, Joe Gillespie. You failed. You did not scout this game at all. I don't know what you do during the week. You probably get into your coach's meeting and say, hey, we got this. Colorado won't show nothing. Oh, we're not worried about Travis Hunter. We're not worried about Shiloh. Shiloh had 10 tackles. I'm sorry. Travis Hunter had an interception. I think I can't remember the tackle numbers that he had, but he had an interception, and he had 11 receptions. A two-way player at best. But you cannot accept accountability for your actions, Joe. You're the same idiot that gave Georgia 66 points in the championship game. But yet you give a helpless team that went 1-11 last year, revamped this whole entire roster, added 90 new players, and you gave them 45 points on your field. And you still have a job as of right now. As of 12:32 right now, you still have a job right now. Sudden Dyke says, you know what, Joe? It's okay. It's all right. We're going to get it together. No, you're not. You gave 45 points away. You know what? Before the week started, I said Colorado's going to win. They're going to win. I said that in my mind. And then, as the game started, they dominated from the start, if you believe it or not. Maybe they'll have like a few dry possessions, but they dominated from the start. So, this is personal. You gave him 565 yards to a team that has nothing. That team there is supposed to be blown out in the Pac-12. Oregon's the better team in the Pac-12. If we're making sense of it right now. Or maybe maybe USC. Maybe USC is a better team. But we won't know that until we reach conference play. Colorado won't know that until they reach conference play. They won't know that. They won't know that. But I don't know how you bounce back from this. This is embarrassing. The music on. This is just too much. It's too much. I want you to come into the camera and say, I screwed up. I'm sorry, TCU fans. I'm sorry for you, AD. Y'all the ones that hired this mother. Number 3. Let me give you another numbers. Dylan Edwards, 5 for 135, and 3 touchdowns. The little ass running back that got in the backfield. Yes, I think he's 5'10". Little ass running back scored 3 times on all of them 3 receptions. Travis Hunter, 11 for 119. I told you, like I said, a two-way superstar athlete. Number 1 pick in the next year's draft. And I'm saying it right now. Number 1 pick in this next year's draft. Xavier Weaver, 6 for 118. I don't know this kid. Then you got Jimmy Horn Jr., 11 receptions for 117 and a touchdown. Again, I don't know these guys. I don't know them, but they went in there and whooped y'all's asses. TCU secondary had nothing. They couldn't defend them. You're supposed to jam them at the line of scrimmage, which you did not. And then on top of that, you allowed Shador to give time. I think he was there for like 10 or 15 seconds in the pocket. My gosh. They weren't physical this game. TCU was not. They were not. They gave up. Garbage. I think this season they're going to regress. They're going to regress, and I'll be right. Number 4. How does Colorado and TCU improve? Offensively, they need to protect better offensively. I think Shador got sacked. Like I said, I think he got sacked 5 times. I think he did. I don't quote me on that. The penalties weren't that bad. 6 for 35. I think you need to clean it up a little bit better. Defensively is the biggest issue. Still gave up 42 points to TCU. TCU, no way in hell should have scored 42 points. The way the game was going. But then again, you're dealing with guys that are fairly new to the environment of Coach Prime. So Coach Prime is going to make you play. It's just that they were not ready. They were not ready when the ball was rolling. So you got to give them a little bit more time, a little bit more practice to bring that up to speed. And again, every game's going to be different. Every game's you're going to have his flaws, you're going to have his strengths. And this game, I think Colorado's strength is their defense. You get a few quality stops on defense. Long term, you win games. Everyone predicted y'all. I predicted y'all 6-6. It could happen, but the strength of this team is the offense. And Shador Sanders, and Dylan Edwards, Travis Hunter, and all those guys. TCU needs to tackle better. Well, no, I'm sorry. Colorado needs to tackle better. They were not tackling well. So we get into the new era of tackling with one arm. We don't tackle with one arm in this era. Well, yes, you do. But my football expertise of the 2000s in the 2000s was to tackle form tackle, two hands. I didn't see that in this game. I saw a lot of one-hand tackles, attempted to tackle, and then reduce the running game. 262 yards for TCU on the ground. TCU basically kept it on the ground for majority. That was basically their offense, if in a nutshell. Basically their offense. TCU's offense needs to reduce turnovers, control the game, and stop forcing the ball. Stop focusing on the. Stop not forcing the ball. Stop focusing on the talk. Now, there's some players that watch the YouTube clips, like myself. I watch every YouTube clip from celebrities to practices of Colorado, everything, because Coach Prime puts it out there for everyone to see. And it's great. It's great stuff. So we learn stuff as we go about the team and mentality of the type of energy he preached. And so I felt like TCU was focusing more on that than the game itself. They didn't know how much Colorado was going to dominate the line of scrimmage. Chandler Morris has to play aggressive. If this is TCU, if this is your quarterback long term, he's got to play aggressive. He's got to take shots down the field. I know you don't have receivers, you don't have a running back that can't catch the ball. You gotta be aggressive. Coach Dyke and Kendall Bryce, both of them have to prepare better. And I'm putting all of Coach Dykes, Coach Bryles, and Coach Gillespie. All of those guys have to prepare better for their opponents. They gotta prepare better, no matter what the opponent is. They have to prepare. Now, I did say the DC should be in the hot seat. If this happens, he should be on the hot seat for real. He should be the hot seat, but he's not. He's going to get another chance to screw up another game. Then how do you recover? Students, athletes, players, etc. How do y'all recover from a loss? From a team that came in there motivated, a team that easily ranks them as number one. In their minds, we know who's number one in all college football. Let me tell you, this hurts right now. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a TCU fan. I don't care. I only care because y'all are local, you're all close by, and I almost went to that school if it wasn't for having a damaged basketball program. But nonetheless, students won't care. They never care. They like to be jackasses and try to disrespect Colorado, call Travis Hunter overrated, disrespect Shedeur Sanders. They're going to do that because they know nothing about football, period. They know nothing. They'll go to the games and cheer for their team to score a touchdown and boo the other one and disrespect the other one. They have nothing, no football knowledge whatsoever. So they don't care. Players, it hurts. It hurts. Like y'all are the ranked 17th in the country, the 17th best team in the country. Lost to an unranked team at your house on Saturday afternoon. What the hell are y'all doing? How do y'all recover? You just don't. Then again, you have 11 games left. So you have to put this away at some point, right? And I think they will. All right. So the final take, Colorado 45, TCU 42. Big win for Colorado. Let's play Deion's first 6 minutes of his press conference, please.
wonderful game, wonderful beginning, intriguing, passionate, purposeful. It was all of that. We had some guys that singled themselves out with their playing and their playing ability. A lot of guys you doubted. One of them from HBCU. I think he had 510 yards passing in a Power 5 football game. And he happened to be my son. And I'm proud of him tremendously. Defensively, we had some letdowns, but the guys came and made the plays when they needed. I think we broke a record. Everything we do seems like a record. 4 receivers with 100 yards. We didn't run the ball greatly, but we threw the heck out of the football. Savion, another back, played a great game. All the guys contributed, Dylan as well as Hankerson. The line did their thing, fought their butts off. We got to fix some things on defense, especially special teams, because I think we gave up 3 or 4 turnovers. We gave up the kickoff. We had a fumble. A couple other things happened in the first half. But hats off to the opposing team. They're coached greatly. I believe their head coach, I love him to life, what he did, turning the program around at SMU as well as here last year. Good man. I had a moment with him in the middle of the field when one of the guys were injured, just to let him know how much I appreciate him, how much I respect him for what he's accomplished, and I really look up to him. He's a good man, and his team was well coached today. Let's have some questions so I can go back and enjoy myself with my kids.
Brian, go ahead. There's no mic.
Coach, how much fun was today for you just to see all the hard work come and you guys produce a victory in that first game?
Well, it was, I'm not going to say it was fun. It was satisfying in the end. You got to understand, time the second ticks off the clock. I'm ready for next. Like, I'm thinking, okay, we got to fix this, fix that, because we got to be much more dominant next week in all phases, not just one phase, but offensively, defensively, special teams. Offensively, we did it. Defense, we got to fix some things. The special teams were horrendous. We got a kick block, as well as Durner gave up a touchdown. That was horrendous.
All right, I'll go ahead.
How you doing, sweetheart? For real? Shador Sanders from a HBCU? Absolutely. The one that played at Jackson last year? The one that you asked me, why would I give him the starting job? But like, that no, not you. I got receipts. I know who they are. Not you, baby. I just got to say it. I would never do that.
My question, he broke a single
Wow.
record for Colorado with 510 yards. At what point do you get to take off your coach hat and put on your dad hat and actually get to just enjoy what you saw?
He and Shiloh just came, when I was in the training room getting my foot worked on, he and Shiloh just came, and of course Junior was filming it, so we had a dad moment. They were really happy, elated. Shiloh came in there being apologetic because he know the couple tackles he missed. I'm on his butt right now, but he said he had 10 tackles, and I checked the stats, and I think he did. So, but I was just dad in there moments ago, and I'm proud of both of them, really. I really am. And Junior, because his work shows. His work is why some of you are here.
Your other son, Travis Hunter.
Yes.
Playing both ways. Can he keep that high amazing?
Can he? I try to tell you, but you ain't want to believe me because I'm just a lofty old young coach. I don't know nothing about football. I just played in the NFL for 14, played at a high level in college for 4, and been coaching youth all the way up for a long time. How do you think we got Dylan Edwards? I coached him when he was 4 to 7 years old. That's why we got Dylan Edwards. So Travis is him, like the young folks say. Travis is it. I really think, I always promote all my kids. I really think we got a couple guys that should be front runners for the Heisman right now. That's how I feel. And I want to promote my kids at all costs. But we got a couple of them that, who did that? Who did what they did today?
Adam, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned Dylan Edwards.
Yes.
Touchdown. He's in his first performance. Can you touch a little bit more on what he got out there?
Well, Dylan Edwards is phenomenal. I've been saying that since he was 4 years old. And we see that in practice all the time. Don't let the size fool you. Dylan looks in the mirror like Shallow Hal. He thinks when he looks in the mirror, he sees a 215-pound man that's probably about 6'4". That's the way Dylan addresses life. And I think he had a little injury of his ankle early on, and he thought it popped. I'm like, no, God wouldn't have brought you this far for that. Not right now. Watch what the impact you're going to have in this game. And he had tremendous impact. Dylan is a dog, man. But you're going to consistently see what he does on a weekly basis, because this is how he practiced. This is how Travis practiced. This is how Shador practiced. This is how those receivers I've been talking about that you didn't believe, this is how they really go to work. The defensive front, I mean, this is how they went to work as well. We got to clean up some things, but those guys, I think they played a pretty good game.
What do you say to people that question the transfer portal, get rid of all the kids, tell them can you do it? You know,
turn on the film. I tell them to turn on the film. We're gonna continuously be questioned because we do things that have never been done. That's the way our life has presented themselves. We do things that have never been done, and that makes people uncomfortable. When you see a confident black man sitting up here talking his talk, walking his walk, coaching 75% African Americans in the locker room, that's kind of threatening. Oh, they don't like that. But guess what? We're going to consistently do what we do, because I'm here and ain't going nowhere. And I'm about to get comfortable in a minute.
So you heard from Coach Prime. Really, I'm really pumped for the next game. I really am. I'm here for it. Now, that was not an embarrassing loss for TCU. Well, actually it is, because they were 20-point favorites to win this game. You gotta understand something. There was college football played. There was embarrassing losses all over the place, especially here in Texas, right? So let's talk about. I'm not going to give TCU some grace, anyways. Let's say rest in peace to Texas Tech. Texas Tech got their ass whooped by Wyoming. All that crap you were talking about, go beat Texas. That's what the commissioner said. The Big 12's commissioner said it to Tech in front of everybody at Tech. Go beat Texas. Okay, fine. I think that game's on November 25th. Fine, whatever. But yet, you can't say that crap and then you lose to Wyoming in overtime, which Texas plays in the next 2 weeks. What? You just lost to the worst team in the league. Who is Wyoming? What is in Wyoming? There's nothing there. And you went in there and you freaking lost. Tech has not had the defense since when I was alive. They have nothing. All that crap y'all feel like you're the best team in Texas. You're not. Another game that I saw. Texas State beat Baylor. Wow, you're telling me that Texas State beat Baylor in Baylor. What is going on with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Why are y'all losing to these worthless colleges? No disrespect though. They're worthless. They have no football. They have nothing in their areas. They're getting transferred from everywhere. The quarterback for Texas State is from Auburn and LSU, and failed at both, but goes to Texas State and beats Baylor in Baylor. So all y'all, Baylor, TCU, and Tech, all y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, including North Texas, which lost 58-21, which I was supposed to go to the game, but I did not. Because you know why? Because I felt like California's going to whoop us, and they did. How do you lose 37 points at home? At home, and I don't care giving them credit. I don't give a rat's ass about it. I don't care. At least make the game manager. At least lose by 20. Lose by 20, then I say, you know what? Fine, we're back. But no, I can tell you, I can tell you a quick bit about it is that our offense sucks. Our defense sucks as well. So this is going to be a rebuilding year for UNC. Maybe not TCU, but rebuilding. I didn't really want to dive into that because there's nothing to dive into when you talk about a team in Denton losing by 37 points. There's nothing. But then again, you got Baylor and then Tech, both of them losing. TCU as well. So what really what is going on with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Take care of business from the start. Stop screwing around with these teams. Stop it. Okay? You can't continue to screw around like this. It's the first game. Job's on the line. But anyways, moving on. Next week, you got games. You got the other game I want to talk about. The other school I want to talk about is Texas. I want to break that down. Rice versus Texas, because it was a blowout. Texas won 37-10. Okay. Listen, Quinn Ayers, let me tell you something. This man he's proved a little bit from last year, just a little bit, not to my liking. He went 19 for 30 for 260 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he looked great. He looked good, but not that great. I'm on your ass, Quinn. I'm on your ass. How are you going to take... You are supposed to lead this team to the Big 12 title. Yes, you beat Rice, of course. Everybody beats Rice, of course, fine. But I'm on your ass. I'm on the whole Texas ass. Not only that I had family members go to that school, but these naysayers say y'all should win the Big 12. You're the favorites to win the Big 12. What? Where did that come from? Coming from a coach that went to the SEC, that's coming from the SEC. Then y'all are going to the SEC next season. And then they pick y'all to win the Big 12. Again, no one looked impressive. Even y'all. Y'all didn't look great at all. But it takes time. It takes time for everyone to get back up to speed and play these games and get familiar with each other. But Quinn, you struggle with your deep ball. For me. I don't care. I don't care about what happens. But I'm on you. I'm on you in Texas. Xavier Worthy should have transferred because he's that good of a receiver. I just feel like he's not getting the ball enough. That's what I feel like. I feel like he's not getting the ball enough. But then again, he has 7 receptions, but for 90 yards. I want that to increase by 3 or 4 receptions every game. That would show the real potential, real NFL talent potential of him. Then you got help. You got Jordan Willington, who went 4 for 47. Jatavian Sanders went 2 for 44. He scored a touchdown. The quarterback has to get the ball out. So you got to get the ball out, Quinn. No matter who the quarterback is. The defense looked great. They held they held the Rice to 27 yards rushing. In total, they forced 3 turnovers. And they were relentless to the ball. The only thing is the front 4 has to stay healthy. They have to stay healthy. If you're ever going to have success in the long season that it is, you got to stay healthy, especially in the front 4. I think our biggest strength is the front 4 for Texas-wise, on the defense-wise. Number 4, and I did see this headline. I didn't click on it, but I did see that Arch Manning did not get playing time. I saw that headline, and I said, Arch Manning just got there. Arch Manning is a freshman. a true freshman playing college football for the first time, it's okay that he will sit out for a year. Also, it's fine. It's between Quinn and Malik Murphy. I think that's correct. Yes. Malik Murphy. Those guys are experienced. It's okay. Listen, they view Arch as a celebrity because, you got two of your nephews played in the NFL. Yeah, he's going to play at some point, but not this year, I hope. I hope not this year because the man's not ready. It's all this hype nonsense. He's not ready. He's not better than the Eli or Patriots of the world. He's not. He's just Arch Manning. He just got there. Let him write his own legacy. He may not be at Texas, maybe at some other school if he does transfer, which I don't think he will. But give it time, Texas fans. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Maybe Quinn Ewers can lead you to the Big 12 title, or maybe not. But then again, I'm on your ass, Quinn Ewers. I'm on your ass. You better lead us to the title, or else somebody's going to get fired. Somebody's going to get fired. But as a head coach or somebody's going to go. I'm on you. Now, my final take is 37-10 UT. No surprise there. They got Alabama next. I labeled that as the toughest game in the week because you got to go to Alabama. You got to play against them, and it is so. I honestly think that Texas will go to Alabama and beat Alabama. Am I crazy? I think I am. Because Alabama cannot be beaten. But the game that I saw, the highlights that I saw, because again, I don't have ESPN. I saw nothing. I don't have it. I saw clips of Alabama on YouTube. I have nothing. What am I supposed to lean on to? I don't have ESPN. The game is on ESPN. I don't have it. I gotta go and watch it elsewhere. I don't have it. But anyways, I don't know the storylines on this because I didn't really get into that. But I know that Texas will need to run the ball. They need to run the ball effectively against this Alabama defense. They need to be able to, Quinn Ewers needs to be able to stand in the pocket and take hits because the hits are coming. But, we'll see what happens. Those are my keys. Run the ball, let Quinn Ewers get some time. And then, defensively, we want pressure on their quarterback. I don't know their quarterback's name. I can't remember his name. But then again, I don't have ESPN. I don't know these quarterbacks. I don't know those quarterbacks, period. I don't know them at all. Thank you, Spectrum, assholes. But anyways, those are my keys, guys. I'll figure out a way. I'll figure it out. I hope they don't come back, honestly. If you're going to leave us in the dark on Spectrum side, I don't want y'all to come back in. I don't want you to come back to our TV. I don't want that at all. But that's enough of my college football time. I think I've covered every game that I watched this weekend. I listened to the California versus North Texas game because, again, it was on ESPNU, and I don't have that. I don't have that. I have to literally go to the game or watch it somewhere else, which if you go somewhere else to watch it, then somebody else will change the channel and be upset, and they want to watch their own college football team. Like, this is Texas. This is all Texas. We gotta watch Texas stuff. We're not gonna watch A&M crap themselves. We're definitely not gonna watch North Texas lose by 37 points. I wanted to watch it, but I didn't go to the bar this weekend. Because you know why? Because people get in the way. People talk to you like drunk. They talk to you crazy. And I didn't want to be a part of that. But I have to be a part of that. I have to be. But anyways, guys, since Gabe is here. Coming up next, let's talk about some Cowboy stuff and what we expect this season and if our predictions are correct. Let's talk about it on the other side. It's Fishbowl Radio's Beyond the Game.
I never kissed a mouth that tastes
Fishbowl Radio, and among other streams as well. Thank you guys for listening or watching to me today. And yes, so the season starts for the Cowboys, and it is the 5th, so it's about 5 days from now. Okay, it's 5 days. So it's on the 10th, and I will not, and I'll be all over it this season. Okay, like I did last season. I'll dive into every game, do my 5 takes about it, watch every film possible, listen to everything, listen to my own podcast talking about it like I did this off season. And so now, when the season is here, we got the Giants. And we have some things to talk about. And Gabe is here.
Hello.
Welcome back, Gabe.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be back.
It's been over a month and a half that I haven't seen you.
It's been a while. It's pretty much since basketball season ended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So glad to have you back.
Thank you.
So we watched the preseason games. Mm-hmm. And we saw a lot of offensive, defensive stuff. I told viewers, I said, I don't care about the kicking situation because I know we got that on lock. Mm-hmm. But before we get to our records, what is your offensive? What is the offensive looks like? Offensive, I guess, prognosis look like to you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. This offense is gonna go as far as Dak takes it. We got all the pieces we need. Just being totally honest. Brandon Cooks is a 1,000-yard receiver no matter what quarterback he's ever had.
Right.
I saw that statistics the other day and it blew my mind. I was like, so you telling me he did this in Houston, he did this in Minnesota, like in places where they don't have great quarterback play.
Right.
And that's a 1,000-yard receiver. Easy money.
Right.
Then we got CD as well, who's he needs to be more consistent with catching the ball.
Yes.
But he's a great asset to have. Mm-hmm. And he is our number 1 receiver at the end of the day.
Of course.
And then we also got a 3rd receiver in Michael Gallup, who is now healthy and ready to go. Mm-hmm. We also got Tony Pollard in the backfield. We got a Deuce Vaughn, who's I think is going to have a bigger impact on this offense than we think. He's kind of going to take that, what Tony Pollard was for Zeke, he's going to be that for Tony Pollard.
Right.
And so I love what I saw from Deuce in the preseason. Offensive line, we've locked down Terrence Steele, we've locked down Zach Martin, we still have Tyron Smith. So we have our core of our offensive line.
Right.
So again, this offense is gonna go as far as Dak takes it. Like, as long as we don't turn the ball over, our defense is solid. So I do believe we'll be in a lot of games that we maybe wouldn't be in. When it concerns Philly and some of the other people, we have Miami, some of those teams that are like really, really talented that we have on our schedule.
Right.
Our defense is going to keep us in a lot of those games because we're stacked.
You really think Miami's talented?
I do. I think the difference between Miami and us is not much.
Okay.
I think Tua's health is a concern, obviously, but outside of that, I think they're a solid team. I think they're a team that's sneaky. They're a very sneaky, good team.
Interesting.
So
okay, I just want to ask you that because I was like, when you brought up Miami, I was like,
I said that because I was looking at our first 6 games.
Yes.
And so we have the Giants, the Jets, the Patriots,
you had the Patriots the 3rd game? Because I thought the 3rd game was the Cardinals.
Arizona. It's Arizona, then the Patriots, and then I think it's Miami or is it LA? I can't remember. I forgot the order, but I know both of those teams are on our schedule. And so Chargers game is going to be a crucial one to me. That's one that I know Kellen Moore is going to try to do his best.
He's going to. It's a statement game.
Yeah, it's definitely
I feel like it's going to be a statement game. My overall prognosis of the offense is that, I agree with you. The only thing my concern is the completion percentage. I want that to creep up to at least 70 to 80%. I know it's not going to be that way because he's going to miss some throws, but I think if we get his completion percentage up to like that 70 range, then I think that that he won't throw as much as interceptions as he's prone to in past years.
And to your point, I think a lot of the offense is going to be centered around running the ball, more so than throwing it. I think we'll probably be a balanced team when it comes down to it, but I think we'll run the ball more than we did last year. Pollard is coming off of an injury. It was a serious injury, but it was at the same time it was a very recoverable ankle injury. So I think he'll be back to himself. I don't think it's. I mean, especially just based upon everything that I've been hearing.
Right.
He's ready to roll.
Okay. I was just thinking about, speaking of the running game, I was thinking, I didn't get into the Deuce Vaughn hype until I went to see it in person, the first piece of the game in person.
Yeah.
I didn't get into that until he scored that touchdown. So I didn't really get into that hype.
Yeah.
And now I'm in that hype.
Yeah.
And so, to me, why Ronald Jones? And because he's suspended for the first two. So why keep him on the team? That's my question. Like, if you're going to go release Malik Davis, okay, we kept three running backs, right? We kept Pollard, we kept Vaughn, we kept who's the other one I'm thinking about? Oh, Dowd.
I know you're talking about.
Rico Dowd.
Yeah.
We kept him, but we released Malik. Well, Malik Davis was released, and then Ronald Jones is suspended for 2 games. So when he comes back, I want to know what his role is. Like, what is his role? Is it special teams? Because you're not going to put Deuce Vaughn on special teams. You can't do that. I don't think you can.
I think Deuce will end up being our number 2. Yeah. Being totally honest, he
has to be.
He has to be. But I think long term, he's the perfect number 2. Yeah. He's the perfect. He can catch the ball. He reminds me of Darren Sproles.
Yes.
A lot. Like I see that a lot in him. And I remember that combination of Darren Sproles and LT back in the day when Darren Sproles first got drafted and all of that. So that was a lot of fun to watch, and I think we have that potential with Pollard if he's healthy completely,
right.
And Deuce Vaughn in that backfield.
Right.
Now Ronald Jones, I don't know what his role is going to be. I think it could be.
That's a question to me.
That's going to be weird, but I don't think it is going to affect anything as far as like what we see on the field. I think he'll just get in where he fits in, because he wasn't an integral part in our offense anyway.
Of course.
So he's just an option.
Right.
And that sounds bad, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, that's honest. That's honest. You mentioned all those 3 wide receivers, and I agree with you. You know, my dark horse wide receiver is Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah.
I feel like he this is his moment.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to come in, and when his number is going to be called, he's going to come in and shine.
Yeah.
Because I think all preseason long he proved himself, and I feel like this offense will need somebody like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to line up Turpin back there to run off or put him at wide receiver. You can put Jalen Turpin. You got like four, maybe 5 quality wide receivers on this team.
Yeah.
And so I do think he's going to be this team's dark horse. This teams are not going to be up. They're going to defend CD and Brandon Cooks. Maybe not Michael Gallup as much.
Yeah.
But they won't be ready for Jalen Tolbert, which I think he's going to have a breakout second year.
And to be totally honest with you, I think that the receivers that we have, like CD, is going to demand attention, right? You can't let him just get loose and go crazy on your defense, or else he can win you games.
He's got to catch the ball. That's my thing. He's got to catch the ball.
Yeah, I agree. That's the biggest thing. It's too many drops for a number 1 receiver.
Yes.
And I think that's something that he knows that he's got to work on. He's been working on it. So I'm excited to see his evolution and elevation as he continues. Because this is what, year 3 or 4?
This should be 2020. So this is year 4.
Year 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is where we see that next level.
Right.
With Brandon Cooks being a number 2 option, that's a big number 2 option. He is used to having to be essentially Houston's number 1.
Right.
They didn't have nobody else after DeAndre Hopkins left. And he stepped up to the plate and did what he was supposed to do. He's done the same thing in New Orleans. He did the same thing in every situation that he's been in. And he's taking advantage of his opportunities. So I'm excited to see that combination, because who do you really defend? Either one of them, if they get loose, you got a problem on your hand.
you just throw it short to Torbert that he can give you like 10 and 12 yards.
And
a gain.
Michael Gallup is our deep threat. He's always been that. Right. So CD being a smaller receiver for a number one, Michael Gallup kind of gives you that deep threat potential. He can go up and get those balls that a lot of other receivers can't. So especially now that he's healthy. I feel like last year he wasn't all the way healthy. Right. He was trying to fight through that knee injury,
ACL.
So I think I'm excited. I really, after watching the preseason, I got a little bit more excited. Right. Just because I like the way that we kind of look. I like the way the play calling looked.
I like the new offense.
Yeah.
The new offense, the Texas Coast offense. I like that one. I like the offense. I like to mix it up a little bit, even though Dak did not play in the preseason. I wanted to ask you about Trey Lance.
Yeah.
So basically, and again, I don't click on headlines that don't make sense. So when Mike Greenberg of ESPN was talking about Trey Lance being a quarterback next season, I didn't click on that link.
Yeah.
Because I said that doesn't make any sense. Dak's going to be here forever, and you're going to pay Dak forever unless he plays poorly. Then you have to go with Cooper Rush.
I'm gonna tell you right now, two things that I know won't happen. If Dak plays like he did last year, they would not paying him again. That you can't justify paying him $100 million contract again.
But he'll command that. He'll sit out.
And he'll command that, and he'll be commanding that from a different team, from a different sideline. Because I can just tell by how Jerry is moving.
Right.
Trey Lance that was a message. He sent a message.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's like, look, if you're not going to step up to the plate, I got to start building for the future.
Right.
Trey Lance is not a next year starter. He's not even a year after that starter.
Right.
But the reality is he is a developmental quarterback that was taken at number 3 in the draft for a reason.
Right.
There's talent there.
Right.
So to me, I can't see a world where Dak isn't the quarterback of the Cowboys. But granted, I already know what time it is. I know what time it is. If him and Mike McCarthy don't get it together this year and at least get to an NFC championship, we're going to have problems in Dallas. And that's just the reality. Jerry's not playing.
Either coaching or new quarterback. But I found out when I was in the airport that they got Trey Lance. I found that out, and I immediately said what you said. He sent a message out. Jerry's tired. He wants to win. And you can't. I said give it about 3 years. Trey Lance will start for this team.
Yeah.
In 2026.
Yeah.
But he won't win. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He won't win. Like this is not. It's not a Band-Aid. This is not a Band-Aid deal. He has to be able to work himself in the offense, and like you said, he's got to be able to develop because he didn't develop that in San Francisco.
And to your Cooper Rush point, Cooper Rush is not a starting quarterback, and people
he has
know
a year
that.
left. This could be his last year.
Cooper Rush is not a starting quarterback, and the reality is he's an excellent backup quarterback. He does exactly what you need him to do.
Right.
He's going to hand the ball off, and he's going to dink and dunk all over the field.
Of course.
That's what you need. You want him to manage the game. That's what he's good for. If you open the playbook up to him and you let him throw the ball down the field and all of this stuff, and now he's starting to force balls, and now he's starting to have to do real quarterback things.
Right.
Like it's very easy to tell the difference between a starter and a backup.
Right.
He is a phenomenal backup.
Yes.
He can save your season if you have an injury to your starter. But he is not your long-term starter. And so that's why Jerry makes this move.
Right.
Jerry makes this move because he's like, look, I know I got an excellent backup in Cooper Rush, but truth of the matter is I can't build with him. Everybody knows that.
Of course.
But let me go get this young kid who hasn't really had, they tried to give him an opportunity in San Francisco, but San Francisco's offense doesn't really suit him well. He needs something with a little bit more structure like he had in North Dakota.
Right.
So Dallas, I think, is a better fit for Trey Lance's game versus that West Coast option-based style.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, that Kyle Shanahan offense is
Right.
It doesn't really suit him well. So on top of him learning this Dallas type of style of play, he gets time to develop because you got to at least give Dak another 2 years.
Well, let me ask you this. So now the clock is ticking for Trey Lance. So not for Trey Lance, for Dak. More Mike McCarthy get it correctly.
Yeah.
So are you saying that one or two things could happen? Either Dak could they can release Dak, or they can fire Mike McCarthy.
I think both will happen. Because you got to think about
You got to
this.
rebuild, though.
Exactly.
You can't rebuild.
You got to commit. At that point, you're committing to a rebuild. And,
that's
and that's rough. It's a rough
very
road.
rough, right?
It's a very, very rough road, and it's gonna look crazy for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just saying, if they don't get it together and at least get this team to an NFC Championship game this year, there will be changes in Dallas. I can clearly see it. It's clear as day. You give Mike McCarthy the reins. You tell him, look, this is yours. We got rid of Kellen Moore, who was a superstar offensive coordinator for you. So you can have complete control of this offense like you're used to having. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Let's do it. We're all in with you two. Now, if you don't produce as a business owner, what do I have to do? I have to make changes. That's Jerry's mentality. So he's looking at, he wants to win now. We got the pieces to win now. You don't want to waste Michael Parsons' best years.
No, I understand that. No,
you don't want to waste Trayvon Diggs' best years. You don't want to waste CeeDee Lamb's
5 years. 5 years.
Exactly.
For Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
5 years. You're saying 5 years for a Super Bowl run.
Yeah. Because you got the pieces. That's the thing that I want the Cowboys fans to realize. You can't buy into this team because of the pieces. Because on paper, we look extremely competitive. We look like a top 3 team in the NFC.
Of course.
Easy.
Of course.
Easy. I can't name 3 teams that look better on paper.
Who's the other thing? I can only name the Eagles, but you said 3.
The Eagles. I don't know. Maybe San Francisco. Just on paper. I don't know. I'm just throwing them in there because they were in the NFC Championship game last year.
No, I don't. No, I don't think I mean, they made the NFC Championship. I don't think I'll put them on there yet. I
mean, you can't deny that they're a top team in the NFC.
I'm not going. Well,
who's better?
I'm going to deny them because I want to see a full season of Brock Purdy. We saw half of it. Brock Purdy went 7-0. He didn't look great in those 7 games because the defense was carrying them.
Listen, even without take Brock Purdy off of that team and look at their personnel.
Okay.
Their personnel has everything that you can. They have a defense that is lights out.
They have 2 quality receivers.
They got 2 quality receivers. You have Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. That is a lot of talent.
Right.
The quarterback is the most important person on the field. They got to finish. They do. And I don't believe in them either, but I'm saying from a talent perspective, we're just talking about on paper.
Okay. Of course.
I can't see putting them. I mean, they right there neck and neck with us in terms of talent on paper.
Of course.
So that's all that I'm debating. I'm not predicting that they're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC. I don't believe that because I don't believe in Brock Purdy the way that a lot
I
of
don't
people
believe
do.
in him either. I mean, I just think that they should have gave him another chance.
Yeah.
Trey Lance another chance to start on this team.
But at the end of the day, they look at it like, look, Brock Purdy came in and played flawless football for 8 games. He did.
He did.
He played flawless football for 8 games.
He did. He didn't look great.
Consistent.
He didn't look great.
The only time that he struggled was when they got to the NFC Championship game. And obviously he had that injury, but he was struggling before the injury. It was just a lot. That game was a mess.
It was just too much.
But outside of that, he played flawless football. So, yeah, I do believe Brock Purdy deserves a whole season to just showcase what he's capable of.
Let's see it.
He may fit well in that particular offense because it doesn't require you to do a whole lot. They got George Kittle at tight end. They got Debo. They got they have a ton of talent.
They do have a ton of talent, but the ball needs to get out.
A lot of quarterbacks can be successful in that offense.
Yes.
That's why Trey Lance got shipped out, because they're like, bro, if you can't play with all of this talent, how can you?
Kyle Shanahan
what are you
doesn't
gonna
believe
do?
in that.
And yeah, exactly. Like, that offense is very difficult and it doesn't suit every quarterback, which is why I believe Trey Lance would fit better with us versus there.
Right.
But at the same time, there is some truth about him not performing with that level of talent.
Right.
You know? So
I agree.
That's why I do think he needs development. I think it's going to take time, and this is
It's not
though it's not
an
immediate threat to Dak. It's a message to Dak. Like, we're either it's you or we're building for the future, because I can't afford to invest another $100 million into you.
Gosh. Well, I mean, like Jerry said, you got to pay Micah.
Yeah.
And Michael will command that contract from a different team if this team does not get to the ceiling in this year or the next year.
And a big thing for me with the Cowboys has always been discipline. We have lacked discipline since 2002.
Are you talking about penalties?
Penalties.
Off the field stuff?
Off the field stuff.
Sam Williams?
All of it. All of it. I'm talking about all of it. There's a lack of discipline that is embedded in this culture, and I think that it needs to be addressed. I think we have a very comfortable environment for these players to be in. It's like a little spoiled kid.
Of course.
It's like when you keep giving and giving, they learn how to manipulate the system.
Of course.
And I think that Frisco, the Star, all of that is beautiful. I live by it. I see it every day.
Of course.
It's beautiful. It's an amazing environment, but I can easily see players taking advantage of that opportunity, because you don't go nowhere else and have a practice facility like that. You don't. There's not another team in the league who's invested that much money, because they can't. This is a $9 billion franchise. You have all the glitz and glamour of Dallas. You got all of that. And I think people lose sight of the fact that it's created a culture of undisciplined players. So until you bring a coach in that can change that, and I don't believe Mike McCarthy is this coach. I don't think.
Who was that coach then?
I don't know,
because there was no one there. You realize that.
Yeah.
You realize there's a trend, and this trend is starting right now in the NBA.
Yeah.
The WNBA has followed it. There's a trend where there's coaches out there over the age of 50. They're not going after anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if you're over 50 years old or 60, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, Mike McCarthy's heading that way, and they're going younger. So you talk about coaches that are like in that late 30s to like mid 40s range. You're going to get a job whether in the NBA or the WNBA. They're starting this trend right now. So the NFL has started this trend again. So Arizona and Indy respectively have guys that are like, I think they're like 37, 38 years old. They're going more younger.
Yeah.
So you talk about discipline. I mean, where are you going to get that discipline from? Because you got to understand something. Everybody is responsible for their actions. Sam Williams, if you have to have somebody to hold your hand during the week, let's do that. Sam Williams, again, I don't care. Well, I do care a little bit. But I want someone to be around him.
But you know
as
what?
a young player, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I'm gonna tell you
twice.
something. I think that with Sam Williams' situation specifically, I feel that it's personal stuff. At the end of the day, you got your own path to. Nobody can really guide you when it concerns stuff like this.
Right.
Like, nobody's gonna be able to hold your hand, because that's gonna get on your nerves. Somebody always being there. Like, bro, I get it. There's young players that come from certain environments that don't know no different. They can't.
The education game.
Yeah.
The education starts in college. So when you're educated in college about your living stuff.
But college can't prepare you for what money brings. And that's the one thing that I believe.
That's true.
Like, now college players are starting to make money and stuff like that. And it's only the top tier level talent. Like, college cannot prepare you for what money brings. Money brings a certain environment, a certain group of people around you, people that You don't know if they real or if they fake. You don't know if they just around you because you have that money. It's a different level of. It's just a different mentality that you gotta have when you get money.
Right.
So, and that's in any industry. That's bigger than football. That's bigger than the Cowboys. It's in anything. The moment you start getting money, your surroundings change. What you do changes.
Right.
Who you with changes. So, I just think that the NFL specifically, like, and I'm gonna just keep it on the Cowboys. The Cowboys have always had undisciplined players.
It started in the 90s.
It's been that way.
It started in the 90s.
Yeah, like I've heard all the stories from Michael Irvin and all of them about how they used to have a little party house in Valley Ranch, like right behind the facility.
My gosh.
Like, it was just a lot of stuff. Like, they've always had the freedom to be those celebrities in Dallas, and that's kind of the culture that was being created.
Of course.
Granted, in the 90s, they were winning with it.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, I want to protect these players. I want to make sure that they have everything that they need and that they have the freedom to enjoy what they've earned and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, when it comes to the game, like just penalties, I can even just go to penalties. This is totally separate from personal issues. That's coaching. Penalties, that's undisciplined players with coaching that doesn't enforce that discipline.
You know what you should do? Like, there's an old trend of when you make a mistake, and then this was in basketball too. If you turn the ball over, you should run for every turnover.
Yeah.
This generation does not accept punishment, right? Like, if you turn the ball over, like I'm a big proponent of when you turn the ball over 20 times a game, or any game possible, you're gonna run.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna run for that.
That's how I grew up too.
You gotta take care of the rock. And you gotta take care of your personal stuff. Because to me personally, right? To me, I like you said, they have too much freedom. But to me, it's like, when will it stop? When would it stop that these players like Sam Williams, like this is a training camp type of deal. We're back in the Metroplex. It's not like we're doing this in California. We're back here, and you're doing this stuff, and now you're facing discipline by the NFL.
Yeah.
And so, moving forward, personal stuff, and I'll get to the on the field stuff in a second. Moving forward, something has to be done. They got to bring somebody in that educates that. Maybe a legend. Maybe somebody like a Michael Irvin that's been through that, or Nate Newton that's been through that, or who else? Emmitt Smith, who's the calmer one. Troy Aikman. Not even Troy Aikman, I'm sorry. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, those guys that still live in the Metroplex come in and educate the young players.
I'm going to tell you, like, I believe
that's off the field stuff.
Players today, just like they're all in their 20s.
Yes.
For the most part. I bring that up because of the fact that a lot of these people in this generation that are in their 20s, I'm in my 20s, I can speak to it, I know from experience.
Yes.
They can't hear the voices of somebody who's older than them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I think this generation, because we've had so much change and stuff happen and technology advancement, all this different type of stuff, we have this know-it-all complex where we don't need anybody.
Right.
We don't hear the OG. Regardless of what package it comes in, again, no matter what walk of life you're in, there's a younger generation who doesn't want to hear anybody talk about anything. Right. Because I'm like, I got this. I got it. I don't need no help. I want to do this on my own. I'm gonna figure it out.
Right.
And to me, I feel like that's a generational thing. It's not necessarily like you can bring in anybody that you want, but it can go in one ear and out the other. The ones that take it and do something with it, they were already gonna do something with that information anyway. They had it in them. So
right, you got to be able to run it. Well, on the field, when you make those ridiculous penalties like holding, pass interference, you got to be able to defend better when you're in those situations.
But again, like going back to the on the field, like I'm gonna keep it on the field. Mike McCarthy has had delayed game penalties himself. Mike McCarthy
you only give him 3 timeouts a game, so you can't call a timeout every possession.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think he's looking at the play clock. Yeah. I don't think he is. I think he's looking on the field, and now it's difficult because he's calling the plays.
He's calling all the plays. So now you're going to be even more distracted, and your clock management skills are already poor. So, again, I think this year is crucial. I think it's very, very important to recognize that Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat, and so is Dak Prescott. Going into the 3rd year of his deal.
No, I can understand, Mike. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're saying that Dak's on the hot seat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And Mike McCartney is I can understand Mike McCartney.
Yeah.
Dak, I don't agree with.
Dak, I 100% believe that
I don't agree with you because I feel like Dak is going to be this quarterback next season. If he puts up 30 touchdown passes, okay, we win, right? We'll go, 13-4, right? So I'm saying he's not on that hot seat. Whether you look at it or not, he's not on the hot seat.
I'm going to tell you
I would say next year, yes.
The reason why I say this year, right, is because this is normally the year after this year, going into year 4 of his deal.
Okay.
They're gonna have to restructure that contract
to pay Michael Parsons and CD Lamb.
They're gonna have to he's up for a new contract.
Pollard too. Pollard's up there too.
Exactly. Dak is up for a new contract. The most important player on your team is up for a new contract after the season. That's why I say he's on the hot seat. If he plays poorly and throws another 10, 15 interceptions in a year, we have a problem.
But then,
because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? They probably, if they keep him, he's gonna get franchise tagged. They're not gonna be able to. They're not gonna put a deal in place.
There's no quarterback in this league that's playing under a franchise tag.
Exactly.
Now,
but you know Jerry.
Yes.
You know how Jerry moves.
Absolutely.
Jerry is not about to invest another $100 million in this guy if he is not producing. Okay. That's why you make the move to go get Trey Lance.
That wasn't public pressure. That was just him making a move.
That was him making a move.
For the first time ever.
Exactly. But you know why? You know why he made that move?
Why?
Because he's not confident in what we have. So you have to develop somebody else.
You have to go to Dak personally and tell him we're going to make this move.
My point exactly. You're furthering my point because Dak does not have the influence that the public may think.
Of course.
When Jordan Love got drafted, who was the first to know?
Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. Because Aaron Rodgers has made himself respectable in that organization. You earned the right because you played your way into earning that right.
Right.
Dak has not. It's been nothing but inconsistency since he got there.
Gabe, I understand your point.
You got 8 years of a sample size to say, all right, bro, now I gave you $100 million, 4-year deal. And you still have not produced.
But Tony Romo got 13, Gabe. Remember, he didn't start to 2007.
Yeah.
He got 10. Actually,
Jerry
13,
admitted
13 because they went with old guys like Drew Bledsoe and Vince Versi in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
So Romo got 13.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Dak is going to get 8?
Because you know what?
8?
I love that you brought that up.
Okay.
Because you do realize that Jerry admits that was a mistake, right? That he overpaid for Tony Romo?
Yeah, he did.
You do remember that he admitted that, right?
I do remember.
He's not making that mistake again.
The man's 81, Gabe.
He's like
making. The next birthday is like the following after mine.
He is not making that mistake again. I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you what I know.
He got 13. Romo got 13, Gabe.
He did.
He got 13 years, now you're saying to me he's on the Dak's on the hot seat.
Dak is
Just because they got Trey Lance. Cooper Rush has got one more year left too.
It's not just because they got Trey Lance, but it's also because of the lack of production. I'm telling you right now, Dak cannot have another year like he had last year.
I agree with you. I don't want him to. Are you? Wait a minute. We're talking about. Let's be on the same page here.
Yeah.
Are we talking about completions and interceptions?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're on the same page then.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
I want his completions to go up to 70 to 80%.
And
there's no way you cannot throw the ball more than 30 times.
I'm going to be totally honest with you, and I'm going to keep it just as plain as I can say it. If they don't make the NFC Championship game at least this year,
okay,
there will be changes made. I don't know if it's going to be at the quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be at the quarterback position. I don't know if it's going to be in coaching spot, but somebody will be moved.
It's got to be the front office. It's got to start with Mark McCartney. You got to look at the face.
Yeah.
The face first.
And given that, because if you think about it, Jerry has not put any of the onus on Dak.
Okay.
If you think about the moves that he's made, right? Mm-hmm. You fire Kellen Moore. You fire Jason Garrett.
Yes.
You move Mike McCarthy to play caller as well as head coach. So you're doing all of this stuff, and you're not looking at the man in the mirror.
That's stupid.
I
don't like that move, honestly. Once you said that, I don't like that move at all.
Yeah,
I don't
because you trying to protect him. You keep telling me that it's not Dak, it's the situation that he's in, it's the coaches. That's what these moves are saying to me. You're taking the onus completely off of him. When he threw 10 interceptions in 10 games or something crazy like that. I don't remember the exact numbers. I'm just throwing that out there.
No,
he threw a crazy number of interceptions, a double-digit number of interceptions.
Yes.
You took the onus completely off of him and said, no, it's Kellen Moore's fault why he threw those interceptions. No, he was making badass decisions.
And now Kellen Moore's got a younger quarterback in San Diego, well, not San Diego, but L.A., and he's going to groom him to perfection.
Exactly. Watch exactly what Kellen Moore does. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers beat us.
Oh, that's right. We played them. That's right.
Yeah.
We played them in L.A.
Yeah. So, again,
ridiculous.
I think this is the year where there is no more real moves to be made. Like,
you not mid-season.
Yeah.
If an injury goes down.
Yeah, then that's different. Then you gotta make.
Yeah, injury goes down. There might be a move.
Yeah.
And then also, if God forbid, if we go 1-6, God forbid, this podcast will not only go down, but somebody in Frisco is going to lose their job as well. We got to go younger. We got to go younger at head coach.
Look, I think
that's what I'm saying. Look at the transition now. Look at watch the ages. Pop in the NBA is the oldest one. Steve Kerr is the next oldest one, and the other one I can't remember the other one.
Rivers.
Doc Rivers is out. He's out. Nick Nurse is the third youngest one. He's 55. So, God forbid, if we go 1-6 and Mike McCartney is not fired, he could possibly be because of public pressure.
Yeah.
Then
I don't think they fire him mid-season though.
If we go 1-6, because that's way down expectations.
Yeah, I mean, now, granted, if we go 1-6 or 0-7 or something like that in the first 7 games, then yeah, changes will.
We never made a mid-season move. I never seen that. I seen it on other teams, but we never made it. We never made a mid-season move, and I think that if we go God forbid, if we go 1-6, then there's got to be a mid-season move.
But I mean, I don't see us going 1-6 at all. Actually, no. I mean, I would be very, very shocked, disappointed, appalled, whatever words you want to put there. I would be.
There's a lot of words.
Yeah,
a lot of words.
Like to go 1-6 and your first 7 games are not the most difficult of opponents on the schedule.
No, I know that the first 3, actually the first 4, we can easily go 4-0.
Yeah, easy.
I mean, the Jets game will be tough because you got Aaron Rodgers.
I just don't believe in the Jets the way that a lot of people do.
I don't believe them either.
I think defensively, they're not as good as I thought they were going to be.
Right.
I mean, obviously, you got a dog in Sauce Gardner.
Yes.
You got some dogs on the defensive line, but outside of that, I mean, it's really, it's cool. Like it's nothing that's like exciting necessarily. So I don't fear the Jets like that. I think we have enough to beat them. We just can't play around with them.
We can't. Unfortunately,
because it's Aaron Rodgers still. And you got
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers with
still
some
out there.
weapons. So that could be a tough one. But
that would be a tough one. So
after that, we got the Cardinals. That's a win. They don't even have Kyler Murray.
I don't even know who their starting quarterback will be.
I don't know. That should be a win. The Patriots after that should be a win. Then the 49ers. That's a questionable one.
Oh gosh.
It just depends. We're in San Francisco, so I don't know.
Again, is that a Sunday night game?
Yes.
Okay, so if that's a Sunday night game, I think we'll win. But then again, you got to know which team comes, which San Francisco team comes out.
And truthfully, by week 4 or 5, I'll have an idea of the type of team that we have. Okay. Because like normally you can easily tell when the Cowboys are going to be a consistent team and when they're not. It's very easy to tell.
Yes.
Like it's just a smoothness about how they play when they're on. Like, so if after those, by the time we get to San Francisco, that's week 5, I'll have an idea where we are.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll stay like that, given injuries and all that, whatever. But I'll have an idea. Because that's our first big test is San Francisco. Then you follow that up with the Chargers.
Oh gosh.
Then you get a little breather. You get the Rams at home.
Okay.
So that should be a win.
That's a win.
Then you go to Philly.
You go to Philly?
Go to Philly. I think we'll lose that game.
Yeah.
I got us splitting with Philly.
Okay.
So
I think the Philly's the best team in the NFC. In the whole entire NFC, on paper, I don't think that they can be stopped unless at least we get to Jalen Hurts. If we get to Jalen Hurts,
I'm confident in our defense. I think that would be a very defensive game.
Our front seven. Actually, I'm confident.
I'm confident across the board, and that's the first time I've said that in a long time,
right?
Ever.
We did some things. We did some things in the off season.
Having Stephon Gilmore back there, not having Kelvin Joseph.
Right. Got traded to Miami, which is shocking to me. Now we got a cornerback back in Noah. I can't pronounce his last name.
I don't remember his last name.
But we got him back.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to get backup. Speaking of this Cowboys talk, we got a bunch of Cowboys talk now on First Take. Again, we both can't watch it because we don't have Spectrum. We don't have ESPN.
Spectrum's trying to play us.
They are, unfortunately. But our man Shannon Sharp's going to be on there Mondays and Tuesdays during the football season.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some of the clips. I like the combination.
Okay.
Even though they share some similar opinions when it comes to the Cowboys.
Yes. That's not entertaining though. So you gotta have one.
But
Cowboys
I think they differ
supporter.
enough because Stephen A is a hater.
Right.
Shannon is not a hater, he's a realist.
Right.
So there's enough of a difference to where it's like, okay, like we can do some things here with that. But I just like that combination during the football season. I think that's really going to be cool. I love their personalities together. It's a lot of fun to watch, just the clips that I've seen. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. It's much better than Skip and what they got going on over there.
And Michael Irvin,
they got
Rich Sherman,
that is
and
a
Keisha
mess.
Johnson.
That's a mess.
Really?
I personally think you have too many voices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have too many voices.
Too many voices.
On that. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's going to be interesting. And we just got to see what happens.
It is.
Before we go, your record prediction. We did this in the offseason. You said 11-6. I said 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
Are we confident in our record prediction?
Yeah, I'm sticking with my 11-6.
Okay.
I'm rolling with that. I think 11-6 is probably just a realistic. Like, just because I know how we do. It's very inconsistent. I don't always know what we're going to get. So, I'm leaning on that 11-6.
Okay. I like our 12-5 because our 12-5, the first 4 games for me will determine where this team goes from here. So, again, you take care of the Giants. You take care of the Jets and the Cardinals, and what is the 4th team again? I think that's the New England.
Yes.
It has to be, okay. So you take care of those teams firsthand. I do want to see where we go from here, and I do care what completion percentage that hits those first 4 games.
Bigger than completion percentage, I just don't want them to turn the ball over.
No.
I mean, like, that's the biggest thing to me. Turning the ball over can't happen because we'll lose games like that.
Of course.
So
if you throw more than 2, then we're definitely going to lose.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, I appreciate it. It's a little nerve-wracking, but we'll get through this season, and we'll all be here talking about it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But I appreciate your insights.
Absolutely, always.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for our show. So, a lot of football talk today. Next week, we're definitely going to dive into the WNBA playoffs, but talk about the Giants game of my 5 takes, and then where this team moves on from here, and more college football stuff. Let's do it. All right. So thank you guys again for listening or watching to the Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio and among other streams. Make sure you subscribe, like it, tell your friends about it, and we will see you next week on Fishbowl Radio Beyond the Game.
Hey world, this is Jamie, host of the Jamie and Genty Show, broadcasting live each week on Tuesday.